Hey guys, Lumpy Ice Cream back again with part 2 of the Doctor Who magazine 2014 poll with Joel. That rhymes, where is it?
I'm invisible.
There. Alright, so last time we were at Let's Kill Hitler, which I totally disagree with. We started filming this again, but then I ran out of memory. We only got a few, like 50 seconds in. So yeah, Let's Kill Hitler, I totally disagree with being 151. That's a fucking shit episode. It is horrible. Yeah, 150 The Macra Terror, 149 The Next Doctor. I don't mind it. What did you think?
Next Doctor was alright.
Yeah. Death to the Daleks. This is where we got up to. 148 Death to the Daleks. Haven't seen it. Where are you going? I was just going over there. Never mind. But yeah, 148 Death to the Daleks. Haven't seen it. Frontios. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. I haven't seen the story. 146. You wouldn't have seen this one. The Android Invasion. It's not too bad. It's probably one of the weaker stories of season 13. But it's definitely, I don't think, a horrible story. It took me a while to watch it. I sort of watched the first episode about twice before I could get into the story. But it's not too bad. I was actually, when Joel and I were watching The World's End, I actually commented on how much it was like the Android Invasion. Of course, Joel doesn't know what I'm talking about when I say that, but oh well. 145, The Myth Makers. Haven't seen it? Oh, bless you. Bless you. 144, The Sontaran Stratagem and the Poisoned Sky. Discuss. What did you think?
The Sontaran Stratagem and the Poisoned Sky.
You know that one, right?
It was alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people hate it. A lot of people seem to hate new series Sontarans because that's sort of stupid. The Sontar halving is very stupid. The blue armor, I can guess, would seem a little strange. Can you not lean on the couch? It's pushing me back. The blue armor is a little strange, but you sort of get used to it. It'd be cool if it was black and silver armor, like the old days. I do agree classic Sontarans are better looking. A lot of people complain about their height being far too short. Like, they were short in the old series, but never...
Short, they were sort of tall.
Not really. In the two Doctors, you can tell the two Sontarans are clearly not the same height.
Yeah.
But they were never short. They were stocky, but they weren't short, like literally like 4 feet tall or something. But Christopher Ryan gives a good performance as Stahl. Was it Stahl? And of course Dan Starkey, who played Strax later on. I never remember his name. Storr? Sontaran names are so similar, apart from Lynx. Lynx sort of stands out. Val and Stike are the two Doctors. I don't know. I always get confused. I don't think it's Storr. I think that's the one from
I can remember.
Invasion of Time. So yeah, I didn't mind it. I hated the line where the Doctor is explaining to Ross about the Sontarans, and he says, "Oh, they have one weakness: the probic vents at the back of their neck." Isn't that brilliant? They always have to face their enemies in battle because if they turn their backs, they expose their weak points. I don't think it was ever established that the probic vent was the reason they were so ruthless and faced their opponents in battle. They were just in their nature. That was the line I didn't like. Full Circle, haven't seen it. The Faceless Ones, haven't seen it. The Ice Warriors, haven't seen it. 140, The Sontaran Experiment. Have you seen this one? It's a two-parter. Tom Baker and Sarah Jane and Harry. It's with that massive robot that's going around and grabbing people. But yeah, it's a two-parter. You remember that one?
What? No,
the Sontaran melts at the end.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the Sontaran's torturing people.
I think so.
Yeah. I love this episode. It's very dark, torture. I just love this episode. 139, Claws of Axos, haven't seen it. 138, The Two Doctors. What do you think of this?
It's alright.
Yeah,
Pretty weird when Thingy goes insane, but...
Who?
Second Doctor.
Patrick Troughton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you mean when he's turned into an androgen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is pretty funny.
It's a very underrated story, I think. Like, it isn't good, but it's not terrible. There's always the canon issues about where the Second Doctor comes into all of this. Because obviously, Jamie and Zoe's minds were erased in the War Games when the Time Lord sent them back to their own timelines, and I think they can only remember their first adventure with the Doctor.
Yeah.
And Jamie seems to remember, like, it's never stated at what point this takes place. There were only ever, I guess, a few circumstances where, probably even one, where Jamie and the Doctor might have been alone. I don't know if there's any spot between when Ben and Polly leave and when Victoria comes in. I don't think there's a spot. I don't know, but I don't think it take place then. No, because Jamie knows about the Time Lords in this story, so it's really weird. Because obviously they didn't know about the Time Lords until the War Games, and even then they'd sent them back to their own timeline, so it's really weird. The Five Doctors is another problem for that, but we'll get to that. So, Two Doctors isn't a good story, but it's not a bad story either. It's just sort of in the middle. 137, Invasion of the Dinosaurs. We've only ever watched like the first part of it, we can't get past that. It's pretty dreadful, but I mean, you know you've got pretty bad effects when even at the time people were saying how bad they were. For the 70s, for people to call it bad effects is pretty strange. You know, like obviously a lot of people do comment now about how bad the effects are compared to nowadays, but yeah. All right, 136, Gridlock. What did you think of this one?
Gridlock.
One of the crabs. The Macra. I didn't really like it that much. Yeah, 135, Vengeance on Varos, haven't seen it. End of the World, 134, what do you think? I think it's ranked well. It's definitely better than Rose, I think. I actually don't mind the story. It does balance some humour and some dramatic points, but yeah, I didn't mind it. It's nothing too special. It is a filler episode, pretty much. But most of Series 1 are filler episodes. But then they don't feel like filler episodes either. It's just sort of... End of the World is just sort of a forgotten episode. Like, people think of Series 1, they think Dalek and An Empty Child and Bad Wolf and all that. But the smaller episodes hold up pretty well. Like this, I like this and Boomtown. Even though Boomtown, a lot of people do say how bad it is. 133, The War Machines. Whoa! 132, Cold War.
That was a good episode.
I loved it. I actually think I really did love it. I haven't seen The Ice Warriors, so I can't say if this is better than The Ice Warriors, obviously. I don't think it is. Though, a lot of people are saying that The Ice Warriors is a better story, and I'll take their word for it. I'll have to watch the story. I've seen The Seeds of Death. Seeds of Death. And that was a good story. But, yeah. I really did enjoy Cold War. I can see why people are getting pissed off at them showing The Ice Warrior, though. Because, I mean, they even say in the story, but if they're out of their armor, it's punishable by death. So, like, why would you get out of there? It's weird. Well, he was desperate, but they didn't really need to show him, you know?
Yeah.
Like, in the part when he's up in the vents and you can only, like, see his eyes and, like, the outline of his face, that was good. But then the part where he, like, puts his helmet up is really weird. Also, it is a very rushed ending.
Yeah.
But that's no fault of Mark Gatiss. I'm sure if Mark Gatiss wanted to, he could have wrote a better story in more time. But they wanted to do the no two-parters thing. Every week is a blockbuster movie sort of thing. And a lot of episodes in Series 7 suffer from that. A notorious case is Nightmare in Silver, which apparently suffered a lot in the editing room. Power of Free, which I don't really care about. I wouldn't have wanted to see more of Power of Free. I struggle getting through it as it is in its 45-minute format. So why would I want to see a longer version?
Yeah.
But yeah, and even weirder is when they when the Ice Warriors beam Skaldek back up to their ship, his helmet is still open. So did he beam aboard the ship and his helmet's off? What are they going to think? They probably executed him afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Or imprisoned him. Because that's not good. But anyway, 131, The Romans, haven't seen it. The Face of Evil, haven't seen it. 129, The River of... the River. The Wedding...
The River Wedding Song.
Shut up! The Wedding of River Song. What did you think of this one?
Yeah, alright.
A lot of people do give it some shit. I didn't mind it. I liked, you know, the sort of just... It is overly complicated bollocks, and it's really stupid way to end the season. There's a massive cop-out that it was just an alien ship the whole time. I had a theory that it was actually... in The Impossible Astronaut, that is the Doctor who dies. But of course, the fact that he started regenerating when he's got no regenerations left threw that out. And of course, a lot of people do say, oh, if he had no regenerations left, why was he regenerating? And how could the Tesselector? I think that's the name of the ship.
Yeah.
How could it imitate that? Well, it's an alien ship. I'm pretty sure it can put on a light show. As to the regenerations thing, I guess he calls himself the 11th Doctor, and he wants everyone to keep thinking that way. Obviously, the Daleks in Time of the Doctor know that he's out of regenerations. So, I don't know if it's common knowledge now or not, but, yeah. Obviously, it was just because he hadn't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
Stephen Moffat didn't know about anything, or that Matt Smith was going to be the last Doctor, so that's why that happened, but yeah. The Crusade, haven't seen it. Frontier in Space, seen it, can't remember it. The Seeds of Death, really good story, really good Ice Warrior story. Patrick Troughton, always a good Doctor. Can't compare it to anything apart from Cold War, and I think it's better than Cold War in some respects, so yeah. 125, Planet of the Ood. What do you think? Planet of the Ood? So you zoned out.
Planet of the Ood.
Yeah. What do you think of that one?
Ooh.
I love it. I know, it's a really good story. I really loved it. I don't know why, it's just a story I can enjoy over and over again. So 125 for that one. Sounds about fair, but I don't agree with the one above it. 124, Rise of the Cybermen.
Rise of the
And
Cybermen.
The Age of Steel, which The Age of Steel was my first New Who story. So, I have a little bit of love for it, you know, just that nostalgia factor, but other than that, it is a pretty crap attempt at bringing back the Cybermen, considering that it ruins the fact of the Cybermen, they're just brains in suits, they make them robots, essentially.
Yeah.
And the fact that, why don't we have them on Daisy and Cybermen, why can't we just use them? It's just stupid. So what do you think of it?
Think of it.
Right, Rise.
Oh,
Oh, fuck.